The Department of Trade and Industry and Competition has established the South African Metering Industry Association. This association aims to be a voice for local players by ensuring that challenges faced in the industry are addressed. To give us more on this, we're joined by SAMIA Chairperson Edwin Sibiya. Edwin, very good morning to you. Thank you for your time. It sounds like an exciting initiative. You are promising to be the voice of the people. How will you intend on being that?
Well, thank you very much, and thank you for having us on your channel, and like to greet your viewers. Well, this has been long overdue, and our primary objective as an association, like you say, is to be the voice of the people. The primary people that we want to look after as interest being the consumer. So as a ratepayer, you are billed on a monthly basis for water and electricity consumption. And that information is being fed through the use of either water, electricity, or gas meters. So now, there are bodies, regulatory bodies in South Africa that are there to make sure that those units that are used to measure you comply to certain specifications. Bodies like your SABS, your SANAS, your NRCS, if I can give a definition. So SANAS standing for South African National Association for Systems, and NRCS being the national regulator for specific for regulatory specifics. Now, if you look at that, now we're having a problem where people will then import meters that don't meet those minimum standards. As a consumer, you then get billed incorrectly on that, and it's our purpose as an association to root out such unnecessary meters that are installed which don't meet the minimum compliance on the market. Because people do that because they think it's cheaper to import, for example, in the East. But who's getting robbed here? It's a consumer. And we are there to say we are putting a stop into this.
You speak about a problem that not only affects South Africa, but the continent at large, because there's a lack of clarity when it comes to those industry specifications and standards of those metering systems. How are you going to start regulating this and ensuring that consumers are not essentially robbed? Because the complaints have been heard, and the metering is not regular when it comes to even households within the same street.
Correct. And this has been one of the biggest challenges. So if you look at the reason why we have the regulatory bodies, all our meters must go through their stringent testing system to make sure that it meets, so whatever that you pay for, it's what you get. And now you then have the meters that are coming in, which are not accredited to do that. So as an association, and as we combined with the regulatory bodies, and we also involving other players to say, let us be the police on the industry itself. We also urge the consumers to say, if you feel as if your meter is not, you don't trust, check with us if your meter is accredited in the South African standards.
That really is fantastic to hear as a consumer, that there will be a body that ensures that the consumers and residents have a place to go to should their bill be not satisfactory and they feel that there may be something untoward about it. How then will you offer your assistance going forward to the residents of South Africa?
So the first step that we're doing is obviously policing the market. And if you look at it, so we've been actively being involved with a lot of municipalities, especially when a tender is being issued to a company that is non-compliant. We jump in together with the DTIC and the relevant regulatory bodies like your SANAS, SABS, and NRCS to stop such installation of meters. But we've also seen that the private market is also one of the areas that import quite a lot, like your gated areas, because sometimes I think they feel that they are not affected by this. But we're warning them that we are coming out for them. People need to be measured accurately, and they must pay for what they consume.
And in terms of the smart trends going forward and perhaps innovations that will change the industry and make this perhaps a norm when it comes to knowing that the standards and specifications have been met, what are you looking at as a body?
So what has been, what the GTIC has initiated was to put the meters, like the water meters and electricity meters, as designated product. What does it mean? It means, especially for the water meters, currently they're sitting at 40% designation, meaning 40% of the meters must be produced locally. And if you look at the electricity side, between 50 and 70, meaning smart meters and prepaid meters, must be produced locally. So by doing that, and we know who are the local manufacturers, so by ensuring that, we make sure not only that the meters that you're getting are accredited, but they are locally manufactured. Now, if you look at what has been the gap has been that the unemployment is very high. And our industry is offering sustainable employment because it's in the manufacturing. But not only sustainable employment, but skills that we put in place. Because everything that we do is a technologically advanced systems. So we need skills. We need to bring up such. You know, I'll give you an example. In our company, already within the past 3 years, we've got 2 guys that went and got the PhDs in electronics engineering. And that stimulates the economy so that we can employ more. Because if a guy is not employed, what does he tend to? Crime. And we're trying to reduce such things.
The other problem that has really been highlighted, especially now in the build-up to the local government elections, is the theft of water and electricity, and corruption playing a huge factor there. How then will you go into communities and assist with a problem like that, where there's a bridging happening and essentially theft happening under residents' noses without them not being able to do much about it?
So if you look at the technology advancement of the systems on the metering industry on its own, so we've now in the position where we are in the forefront of the 4th industrial revolution by deploying your IoT technologies in the system, where monitoring becomes key. So if you look at, I'll give you an example on the water side. So leakages is one of the biggest pain of our country where water gets lost. But if you've got monitoring systems where it will report to you almost live to say, we're picking up leaks in this particular thing. And this is how we're ensuring that we can pick up leaks. But not only that you are consumed, you are billed accurately. So every day you will be getting your consumption on your phone on a daily basis where you can see what is being happening. And if you look at all the tenders that have been coming out now on the market, they're requesting for that technology, which is a big benefit for our country.
Very well. Thank you so much for that. SAMIA Chairperson Edwin Sibiya there, speaking about some of the roles that will be played as the Department of Trade and Industry Competition establishes the South African Metering Association and how best it will help residents.